Hey Joyce, remember that time we ate that tomato bean soup?
Yes, it was delicious.
It was pretty good. Good job.
Thank you, Glenn and friends.
Oh yeah, special thanks to Glenn and Friends, one of our favorite YouTube channels, for giving us the recipe. Or maybe just inspiring Joyce to make some soup was maybe more like it.
Right, because I did it a little differently. I used habanero tomatoes and it was a little spicy.
I think Glenn would approve.
I do so as well. Yeah.
Hey Joyce,
Yeah.
remember that time we watched the film Snowpiercer?
I'd like to. I guess I don't want to forget, but
Dude, you were all about that movie. What the fuck are you talking
it's
about?
kind of like an always remember situation because it was tragic.
It was a tragedy. An action-packed thrill ride of a tragedy.
I meant tragic in the sense of dumb.
This bitch. Well, the movie is about. Apparently a Korean film, even though it's got a real Sesame Street of a cast. You know, like they got all walks of life, we'll say. But the movie's Korean, and it kind of, it's got a lot of Korean flavor to it.
What's Korean flavor?
You know, when
like
you watch
Korean barbecue?
You know when you watch a movie, and you can watch like an action movie or a sci-fi movie, and some things just it's got some Korean sensibilities to it.
All right. Tell us what it's about.
Well, these people are on a train, and it's like the train's been going for like 18 years, I think, something like that. And the train is completely self-contained.
And self-sufficient.
Yeah, like they like I don't know, they grow their own food. Apparently, the train never has to stop for gasoline. And the reason that they're on this train, all these people, I guess it doesn't seem to be that many people, but they're like,
Right,
oh, there's 1,000 people on this train.
Can't be that many people. No.
I think maybe like 200 might be the total population. But because we see every train on the car on the train.
Yeah, and there's not that many people.
It didn't seem like it was that many, but they're just anyway. Moving forward,
That's all you can do on a train.
unless it crashes in a wreck at the end.
Into a mountain full of snow.
But anyway, in the shit ass end of the car or the train, the caboose, that's where it's real nice up front by the locomotive, and it gets progressively shittier until you're in the last couple cars where these people are eating, Soylent Green ass protein bars, and they're just kind of locked up, and their kids are getting kidnapped by the people up front, and they're not allowed to move around the train. It's like the prison car, basically. So the whole movie is about the people in the ass end of the train who are getting shit on, basically, in a literal sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they stage a revolt and slowly, in a deadly, painstakingly slow, 2 hours long kind of way, make their way to the front of the train.
Car by car.
And each car
is more illogical than the last.
Wow.
This movie I just could not get down with. It's very illogical. There's too many questions that either don't have answers or the answers that are provided are just unreasonable. There's no way. So I couldn't buy into it, and it wasn't a comedy or a cartoon, so I couldn't do it.
So I'm getting the vibe that your problem with this film was that it violated your suspension of disbelief.
It did, and right off the bat, I didn't like the character with the buck teeth and glasses didn't really make sense to me in that type of environment. I just couldn't buy into any of the realities or situations on this train.
You had trouble placing yourself. You were not, like, you couldn't imagine yourself on that train.
No.
I don't know if I could either, maybe.
You seem to like the movie.
It started out, like, there was a point where I was just like, fuck, why am I watching this movie? Because the first, like, 20 minutes, half hour, it was like, so, one of those things. They're in the ass end prison car, which is very dark. Mm-hmm. And it was at a level where it was just like, where are they and what the fuck is going on? Because it's not immediately apparent that they're on a train. And I came into this shit knowing nothing. I didn't see any trailers. I didn't read any synopsis.
Right. Me either.
So I'm just like, there's a shitload of people and it's dark and there's apparently some bullshit going on. And it went on for like a half hour before they staged their little uprising.
I didn't even know they were on a train.
Right. You don't know that they're on a train immediately. And I was, I like to know what's going on. Like, I like, you got to have a little bit withheld. But I'd like to be able to see things and kind of know what's going on. And it was just too fucking dark. But then, once they got to the brighter cars where there was more shit to look at, I was like, this is alright, it's a little different. Anyway, it was based on a French graphic novel. We did some research after watching the movies, as in...
Because you were like, maybe this is based on an anime because of the way the story was.
Yeah, well, that was another reason why I say it had some Korean, whatever the word I used was.
And they seemed to like a genre of train.
Oh, yeah, dude, that was not the first train movie we've seen, is it?
No, but Train to Busan was pretty well done. I was able to suspend my disbelief vibes.
I would say that I like Train to Busan better.
I liked it way, way better.
And but anyway, we realized once we were watching this movie and discovered that they're on a train that there is a whole train genre, including Train to Busan. And it also reminded me of one of my favorite films of all time, Runaway Train, starring Eric Roberts and Jon Voight.
And Throw Mama from the Train.
You think this is a fucking joke? But no, that actually the Eric Roberts movie was also a story created by Akira Kurosawa. Is that how you say his name?
That sounds right to me.
Yeah. But anyway, great movie. Train to Busan was a great movie. I thought Snowpiercer was alright. And then in my research afterwards, it was directed by the same guy that did Parasite. Parasite was alright.
Well, wait. Was it direct? No, the guy that was starring in this was the same guy in Snowpiercer. But
the fucking director was the same.
Was it?
And that actor was the same guy.
All three things were the same person.
What? All three what?
So you're saying that guy who played in this movie was also a director?
I don't think he was the director. I think the actor appears in a lot of his movies. I think how like Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel are butt buddies. Mm. That guy and Kim Bong-un, the director, are also like we make our movies together. Kind of like Sam Raimi and your boy Bruce Campbell.
Right.
They're not the same person, but they do make the same movies.
Like Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You gotta speak in my language. Moving on.
But I was also going to point out that these train movies, they have the kind of same. There's a lot of the same plot points, and the feeling you get when you watch the movie, very similar to the submarine film genre. Do you feel the same?
Right, and then we started talking about the submarine movies.
I like submarine movies.
Hunt for Red October, and Crimson Tide.
And Ice Station Zebra.
I think we talked about that.
And Das Boot.
Das gut.
I made notes here. Oh, yeah, I guess we talked about
I
everything.
just want to talk about
What was your favorite scene?
one of the scenes that pissed me off the most was when the main, I guess you would call him the main character.
We didn't even mention him, the motherfucker that played...
He's in Captain America, which I called.
Yeah, Captain America. I didn't even recognize him. Because he had, you pointed out his,
Oh, like, yeah, his facial hair wasn't even fully dyed correctly.
His dye
and it was
job goatee.
an obvious dye job, like, so what's happening on this
Joyce
train?
took 2 stars off of this fucking film because of that goatee.
Okay, so this guy at the end of the movie, or in the middle of the movie, spoiler alert, the protein bars are made from cockroaches.
No!
So he dramatically, acts like he can't handle it. He's gonna throw up. It's just the most horrible thing.
Well, what the fuck did
that
you think
he's
they were gonna
ever-
be made out of? You're in like a closed... They knew that they were in a closed container.
First of all, cockroaches
And it was
are
18
known
years
to be
later.
quite healthy and nutritious.
You don't have to convince me of all this. I'm saying,
Okay,
why
I'm
was
not
it so
finished with
shocking?
my point though. At the end of the movie, this motherfucker talks about eating babies and how they're the best tasting. Why would he
Spoiler
have
alert.
that reaction about eating cockroaches when this motherfucker has eaten people and babies? Like,
Right,
fuck
he ate
you.
people before they even became Soylent Green. And then he finds out that the Soylent Green
fuck
substance
that guy.
is not even people. Which I was like, they're either eating the kids or they're eating like reprocessed poo-poo or something.
I thought that
And
thought they were gonna
that-
eat the kids. Like I thought that when you said that he was eating
I thought that
steak.
at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, when Ed Harris and him they're like eating steak.
I thought it
for
was
sure
gonna be a kid.
it was
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure
one
that
of
it
the kids.
wasn't, because they never really said that it wasn't, and they would have had to. They have to get rid of those kids periodically.
True, but on the other hand, they did go through the slaughterhouse car, the meat locker where they had all the chickens and sides of beef. Where was the part of the train where they had the live chickens or cows? I don't know.
Exactly, it was totally illogical. They said that the fish aquarium was an ecosystem.
Yeah, they eat fish, and then we see the
twice
aquarium
a year,
car.
so they don't even have enough fish, or they can't bother the ecosystem to eat fish more than twice a year. And why would you be wasting all this fucking space, time, energy, everything to have this aquarium?
Well, Joyce, like we used to say at the Rainforest Cafe.
Water, which is supposed to be the crucial thing on the train, and they talk about how they're making water from the snow that they crash into, which they show it crashing into like 3 cliffs of ice, and it's supposed to be somehow going through the train and processing into water. But they didn't hit any other water pockets from that point. They had no collection system for this water that I saw when they went through the train. In the front of the
said that it was
train,
a collection system.
we saw the train. He opened it up. He got inside, and we also saw where the little boy was. It was no system of collecting water whatsoever.
You don't know if there wasn't another kid, on a different, maybe even in a different car, and it was his job he had like a spoon. He had a spoon, and he was scooping up the train, underneath the car, and the shit ass cold. You don't know.
It's not enough to feed all these people water. This whole thing didn't make any sense. And they keep talking about going outside. So, of course, they're planning to go outside, these 2 people. But they grab one fur coat each, and that's all. That's all you're planning for to go into the ice age.
I feel sorry for you.
That makes me mad.
Because you are letting all these technical things that are minor details
How are they
get in the
minor
way of-
details?
stop. You're letting that
It's like
stop
the
you from
whole
enjoying this
premise of the
amazing
movie.
story.
It's not a minor detail. It's the whole premise of the movie. And then they do go outside, and it's like it's not even fucking cold. They have no face protection, no gloves. It's not even cold, so why the fuck are they been on this train at all?
The dude said that he had seen signs over the years that it was getting warmer outside.
Warmer, not warm enough to just walk outside.
Do you remember the part where
Guns
he's looking out the
blazing.
window and he's like, oh, Captain America, look out the window. And Captain America's like, what? Where? And he's like, that airplane used to be completely covered, and now it's only half covered, which means that the fucking snow melted.
That's not how science works. So if the snow melted, it would have really been melted.
That guy was a fucking scientist.
Where were they going to take cover at? Where were they going?
I don't fucking know.
Exactly.
They're gonna go live in a hole in the ground or something.
So why wouldn't they have got off in like a city that should have been melted when they go around the world once per year? They should have seen that the city was melted because that's how sun works.
He really should have timed that so that they were like, okay, we're at the equator at least. Hypothetically, this should be the warmest part of the planet.
Thank you. Like, no. This was...
But some shit went down, and they just kind of had to get off when they had the chance.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there was a polar bear, so we know that life can survive outside the train.
And we know how cold it is where polar bears live. And people in this day and age, not in an ice age, need gloves and masks to be there.
They had to take what they can get.
They would have died.
So I'd say after all this chit chat that we can at the very least call this film thought-provoking.
No. No. Not a fan.
What if you had the choice to watch Snowpiercer, Train to Busan, or Runaway Train starring Eric Roberts? Which one do you select?
I would probably select Runaway Train with Eric Roberts because we just watched Train to Busan not that long ago, and I haven't seen that one for a very long time.
It's been a minute for me, too. A couple years at least.
Mm-hmm. Guess you know what our next review might be.
It's not going to be Runaway Train.
How dare you?
We got all this shit to watch.
We have more Clint Eastwood films.
Dude, we got to watch Harry Potter.
Are we going to do
all these
one
Clint
Harry
Eastwood
Potter
movies.
review of all the movies? Like a ra-da-da-da, ba-da-dow.
I don't even really know if I want to talk about it.
Wow.